in a bar down on Beale Street. Some Memphis barbecue. Home is 14 hours if I drive straight through to you. There is no trip like a road trip. Nowhere to go, nowhere to go, nowhere to go but gone. Nowhere to go, nowhere to go, nowhere to go but gone. Nowhere to go, there's nowhere to go but gone. Nowhere to run but on. Nowhere to go but gone. But when I return, the bridges I burned have been reassembled. Good to take a breather, good to get some air, good to be reminded of what it's like out there. There is no trip like a road trip. Nowhere to go, there's nowhere to go but nowhere to go, nowhere to run but nowhere to go but gone. Nowhere to go but gone. Nowhere to go but gone.
Hello and welcome to another edition of A Chat With. And today with me, I have some very cool cats. Great band. They have been working so hard at their craft, and they've been called a one-hit wonder. But if you've listened to their music, I don't think that's quite accurate. I think they've got a couple of others, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit and dispute that. And what we just played for you was a great song by the Kings, who are my guests. I have Mr.
Hello.
Zero and Dave Diamond.
Hello, Sam. Yes.
And the song was Nowhere to Go But Gone, the current song off their latest album. It's the longest story ever told.
Yes.
And you can get it on all your streaming sites. So be sure and do me a favor and get yourselves a copy. As you can see, it comes in vinyl, digital,
Yes, it does.
CD.
Digital.
I'm sure if you pay enough, they'll come and sing it to you personally.
We'll come to your house. We'll bother you.
And it's a great album. I've had it since it first came out, and I've had opportunity to listen to it. We play it on the station. It is a great album. It's got some great music on it. It's got everything you could really want in an album. It's got some great pop songs. It's got songs that have a 60s vibe to it. It also has songs that are beautiful ballads, songs that fool you where you think they mean one thing, but they mean something completely different, which we will talk about right now, and that is Nowhere to Go But Gone. And that is a song that is currently out. And David, I want to address you with this.
Okay.
And the lyrics to the song kind of give a vibe that you're going for a drive across the country and you're kind of clearing your head as you do so. And that's not quite accurate, is it?
Well, Zero actually wrote the lyrics. I did the music for that song. So, but it is a matter of you have to get out and get some fresh air and clear your head. That's right. And So you take a little trip to think about things and work things out mentally and go maybe visit some friends at various cities far away and get back to reality a little bit before you come home and face whatever you were.
It's like a relationship thing with you need a break from it.
Yeah, I've had a few of those.
And then when you're out there having a great time, well, you're going, well, maybe I did have a great time back home too. I just didn't really realize what I had. That kind of a thing.
It's like,
Now, the song we've been playing here on the station, and it's very, very popular here. On our station list, it for popularity, it's on the top 25 in our countdown, but we don't have an official countdown, but it is in the top 25 for requested songs. So it is very well liked by the listeners here. And that's got to tell you how they feel about you as a band, because up in the top 15 is, of course, Switching the Glide. And what does that tell you about the longevity of what you've been doing? How does that make you feel?
oh, it's really nice. I think that if people got exposed more to our music we've made over the years, I think that they would request it more, because there's a lot of good stuff that never got exposed properly.
Yeah, a lot of stuff never got a chance. That like switching the Glide. It was loaded on the front on the nose cone of a rocket ship when it came out. We had everything behind us. We had a great producer, Bob Ezrin. We had a great U.S. contract with Elektra Records out of L.A. So it really got the push. But we have a lot of other really good songs. Zero and I pride ourselves in writing good tunes that mean something to people, you know. It's, go ahead. Sorry, Sam.
No, I was just gonna say, and that is true, because this current album, to me, is a perfect example of that album, of that talent that you guys have as writers and performers, with a lot of the songs that have come out on it, including one that we're going to play later, Always Off the Deep End. Of course, I Know So, Nowhere to Go But Gone is another great song off the album. And there is just, it goes on and on and on with great songs. It's one of those albums where people say, what's your favorite track? And it's like asking, what's your favorite child? To me, I don't have a favorite song. For me, I like all that I've played on my morning show. I thoroughly enjoy, because I play the music that I think that the listeners will enjoy. But if I could play something that I enjoy at the same time, it's a bonus. And I've been bonusing pretty good with this album. And like I said, the songs that we have been playing are very popular, and we get many requests for them. So it must make you feel good that people still resonate to you, and want to hear you guys. How has it been for shows live? Have you been having a good time getting some tour shows in?
Well, we don't seem to play that much, but we try to make the most of every opportunity. And we, because of the internet now, you can certainly let people know where and when you're playing. And you can really let them know about album releases and single releases and videos, and keep people up to date on what you're doing and all that. We just put up a post on our Facebook page, which is kind of the main, social media thing. It's tied into with the other ones as well. But our video
for this beat, or
no, our video for This Beat Goes On, Switching the Glide, just passed 6.1 million plays.
it's a lot.
And our documentary Anatomy of a One-Hit Wonder just passed 80,000 plays.
Yeah, that's like a full-length movie. Well, not full-length movie, but it's a good hour and some.
Yeah, it's anyway,
Well, I had a chance to see the documentary, and I found it very entertaining. So it doesn't feel like an hour. And I think if you're a fan of the Kings, I think you guys should check this documentary out. It's a
Yeah.
great documentary, and there's also the concert video that we talked about the last time from Heatwave
Right, yeah.
with that was given to you by the guys from Teenage Head.
Actually, it's the
I
other way
believe.
around.
No, the other way around, actually.
Right, sorry.
Okay, they're
I had
friends
a
of
chance
ours.
to talk
Okay.
to I had a chance to talk to Gene Champagne a couple weeks ago,
Oh, yeah.
and that's another good video that people might want to check out because it's got some good stuff on it as well.
Well, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant documentary about teenage. Picture My Face, it's called, and
Yeah.
we were very happy to help them make their that movie with Doug Aerosmith, the guy that directed it,
Yeah,
and you know, sometimes it's still such a tragic story that sometimes when you think about how rough the music business can be and how the luck can change for the worse, I mean,
yeah,
they've had some bad luck.
bad timing, bad timing. They were just about to go huge in the States and that when they had there was a car accident and Gord broke his back.
Yeah,
And that just shut everything down for them for right when they were just about to
showcase some stuff in the States,
Yeah.
and the spotlight was coming on to them like that.
and
And then they had to pause, and the spotlight just keeps moving on to the next thing. And then years later, Frank passed away, and you know, we went to the service for him and everything in Hamilton there. And
and on and on.
and then on and on. And it was funny because there was a bar next door to the funeral home there in Hamilton, and
It was
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
It was packed with Teenage Head people, and we thought, boy, they packed them in the bars when they were playing, and they packed them.
when they're passed.
Yeah, so
But that's the whole tragic thing that. But anyway, Teenage Head,
they're
yeah,
great guys, they're great friends, you know.
that whole story at Heatwave, there was only a couple of band, us and a little bit of Teenage Head that even got filmed. And this is actual movie film. It's not video. This is actual
16.
16 mil that silent movie that it was like, and then we had to marry it up with the audio recording, which was all lost at one point. Zero tracked it all down and put it together, and that's why it even exists, or it would be in the bin somewhere, gone, long gone. So quite
And
a
then
story.
we had a version of it, then we were able to fix it up a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
As part of the deal with Teenage Head was they gave us a new transfer because they had to deal with this company in Toronto. So
Well, it was worth the effort, and I think that people should check it out. And for me, the thing that I love about your band is the longevity that you've got as a band. And I don't mean in the sense of performing in that. I mean in the sense of the band is pretty much intact for 44 years.
Yes, it is.
You guys
This-
came onto the scene 44 years ago, and Sonny Keys, Mr. Zero, and Dave Diamond still rocking, still rolling, and still performing to this day.
well, it was a
What
lot.
keeps you guys motivated to do so?
Well, as everybody grew up and had families and everything, Sonny kind of had to face the reality of life, and you know, and so he wasn't involved for playing live with us for quite a while.
Yeah.
And
But we were always in touch with him. You know, he's
Yeah.
he's our close bud, and we were always bouncing ideas off him. He wasn't actually in the band. We had 30 different drummers and keyboard players over the years, but we've all worked through all that. And our new drummer, Todd Reynolds, our new guy has been in the band since 07. So he's the new guy, but the other three of us are the originals, and I don't know how we find the energy either now. I mean, we used to jump around so much, my knees are worn right out. So I do what I can now, you know, but I can still sing, and he can still play great guitar. And
Yeah.
Sonny, he still can jump around. He goes like crazy.
And we also have a new live video when we played at Casino Rama in April of this year. So people can see the heat wave footage, which is it's kind of at our peak just before we started playing in the States and touring and all that, when the Switching the Glide was just coming out. And then we have the one from this year when we played up at Casino Rama, and they were nice enough to give us the footage that they shot and the audio. And so we just had to tweak it a little bit, and then but it's a good representation of where we're at now. And we're very happy with the way that turned out as well. So you can see the
lifespan of the band, 44 years of rocking and rolling.
yeah. So
But we're all good friends too. I think that's why, you know, like nobody has any big fat heads on them, and so except for these guys, maybe. See these guys, yeah. But that's why we get along. Nobody's anything special other than the other person. We're a band. That's
kind
what
of
it is.
you get past all this. It's the same with other bands. It's like we used to think competition maybe with some of these other things, but now it's like, who cares? You know?
We're all good friends,
You
everybody.
just got to wish everybody luck, because the business is so screwed up that, you know, if you can get a gig, more power to you. If you get a break, we're happy for you.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we talked about, Mr. Zero, the last time we talked, you and I, we were talking about how it's more, I don't want to say a clique, but I do want to say that it's more of a community now with the bands. That like you said, everybody wants success for everybody. And if you, like you said, if you can get a gig, great. If you can get a few gigs, even better. If you can get some music sold, that's good too, even though that's the hard part, getting music sold. I don't mean the numbers of the music, but I mean, like, you're making nothing off of it anymore. And that's a crime. And it makes it tough on bands, doesn't it?
Well, Gene Champagne, you just mentioned, he's a good buddy of ours. I ran into him last week at Kerfest in Oakville. I didn't get there in time to see them play, but I talked to Gene there. And then I was there the next night to see Streetheart. And they have a singer now because Kenny passed. And so they have this guy, Paul, who was he was the backup singer in Harlequin when we did a tour with them. He played keyboards and bass and sang, and he got the lead singing gig in Streetheart. And so he's a friend, and he always, Zero, he's all very friendly, all very nice. And he's a great singer too. He hits all those notes.
But it's funny, we do these shows, these concerts, the weekend festivals and that. Like last year we played out Saskatoon, and the year before that Kelowna, with a multitude of Canadian acts, and everybody knows each other from one point or another over the years. And like you said, it is like a small community of the survivors sort of thing, and because there's lots of great Canadian bands, great Canadian music. And there has been a lot of bands come and gone that were great that didn't last, but that's why we see each other when we see some of the other guys like Tom Cochrane and April Wine and that talking to them and just, well, how you doing? Well, we're doing okay. How are you doing? Oh, we're doing okay.
And so when we saw April Wine play out last year in Saskatoon, and I thought, boy, their sound is just so good. Like the mix that they had, that we met up with their sound man, Jake, at the hotel after. And now we've hired him for a few shows because, it's just one of those connections that you can make when you're out there playing and you see some of these bands.
Yeah.
And he's a great sound man, and we're happy to get him when he's not working with April Wine.
Yeah. There's other many bands. Yeah.
Now,
So
Do you like doing the festivals over a show on your own? Because is there not more pressure to do a show on your own as opposed to being part of a bigger project where you can relax a little bit, enjoy yourself, have some fun? Because for me, I've been to concerts in bars, theaters, arenas, and festivals, and I've always found I had a great time at all of them because I don't go to a concert I don't want to be at.
Right.
But the best time I seem to find where I enjoy myself the most is a festival. Is it the same for you as performers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like it. Like you're right. When you're just by yourself, you got to sell tickets, or you'd be walking out into an empty hall and you're going, uh-oh, type of thing. But if you're playing with other bands, and then you have their whole fan base coming too to see you,
Yeah.
and your fans see the other bands, it's just a more relaxed. It's a better party. You get better partyitis that way instead of just by yourself doing it.
And it's about the same kind of money too, because to play in a theater or something like that, it's going to be $80 a ticket, and
Exactly.
Or you can,
and now you can go to one of those festivals for 70, $80 for a whole day of bands. So why wouldn't you do that?
makes sense. Yeah.
And you
We-
share the responsibility of selling those tickets too.
But
Now
we
you
have
got- Go ahead.
in the last little while, we did a bunch of shows with Honeymoon Suite, and the one in Rama was with Glass Tiger. It's great doing those shows too. Like there's soft seaters, so you're really under the microscope. But it's good too because there's the two great bands playing, and the people get their money's worth that way. I think it's a good way to do it. It's a good way to sell tickets and satisfy the fans for coming and spending that extra bit of money, because everything, as you know, is so expensive these days. Just to get the bands out to play and to rent the halls and everything, to pay everybody. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right. And you guys have done more than 2,000 live shows. And you've done everything from, I would assume, bars right through to large arenas and stadiums and everything in between. And you guys are still rocking, and that's the beauty of your band. For a while, it was kind of quiet in the Kingdom, and in the sense of there wasn't really any real buzz about new music and that, but there's a lot of buzz about this new album, which came out late 2023, The Longest Story Ever Told. And it's got some, like I said, it's got some great music on it. And people are calling this a comeback, but I don't think you guys really left. You've been consistent in the times that you play. You've been very consistent. You've always entertained. You've always taken pride in what you do, and I think it shows in no matter what you're doing, including the gig that you guys just did in August in Kitchener at the Kitchener Blues Festival. That must have been a great time. And coming up in November on the 8th, you'll be going down to Planet Hollywood in Cancun. Yes, I'm jealous.
I
And
did my
yes,
tour
yes,
already.
you can hire me to introduce you guys to the stage. I'll go for free.
You'll go for free. Okay.
And
The lineup over here outside, there's 2 or 3 people there eating already over there. Sorry.
okay, all right, I'll go the next time.
Okay.
But serious, all kidding aside, that's got to be a great festival for you guys to be going to, the Planet Hollywood Cancun Festival, the Sands Festival it's called, and you'll be, you're going to be on stage with some legends, Bret Michaels, Rick Springfield, The Fix, Level 42, Lou Gramm, and former Kiss member Ace Frehley. That has got to be a great lineup, and then of course the Kings are there too.
Oh, the Kings are there.
That's funny because that show is they actually want you to stay for 3 or 5 days on their dime to sort of schmooze with the other patrons and that kind of stuff. So, and we only they have 2 stages. They have an indoor stage for the bigger bands at night, but the daytime bands, which is what we're doing, they have a stage on the pool deck. So they have this massive pool complex with swim up bars.
Yeah, the audience is in the water.
So the audience is in the water drinking in front front of the bands. That's where Glass Tiger did it last year, and Honeymoon Suite did it a couple years ago, I think. And so that's kind of a weird
Yeah.
trip. So we're there for 5 days. We played for 45 minutes.
We played one show on Saturday afternoon, and we were down there for 5 days. They were asking, "Do you want to go for 3 days or 5 days?" We go.
See, now you guys are just rubbing it in. That's all that is now.
You know, it's hard to believe that it's happening. That's why we have to.
That is a great gig. That is a great gig if you can get it.
Free
And it-
booze, free food. They're paying us good money, free flights.
You're all set. Now,
It's a big
with a
deal.
festival like that, do you have an opportunity to talk to the fans a lot? Like, are there meet and greets as well?
I think just by being there, you'll run into that kind of thing. You know,
Well, we're going to be taking T-shirts and stuff to, we'll be all decked out with our King stuff on, walking around, and I'm sure we'll get some attention that way. But we're looking forward to meeting people, meeting some of the other, the artists and
I
the
mean,
producing people.
Rick Springfield's there. It's going to be Cougars.
No kidding. You think?
Jesse's good.
There's going to be a lot of ladies to see Rick.
Now,
But Billy Ocean's there too. I think he's gonna be. That's gonna be great.
yeah, I'm just going based on the lineup that was given to me from Annie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be a great time no matter what's going on. That's going to be a great show. There's going to be great shows, like you said, on the indoor stage and the outdoor stage. And if fans up here want to get down to it, it's November the 8th, I believe you guys are playing.
That's when we're
Yeah.
playing. It's a
That's-
5-day festival. Or
It's a
yeah.
Friday, actually. And the
Is it a
American
Friday?
election is on the Tuesday.
Oh yeah. So it's that week, just after the 5th. So
Yeah, so that's gonna,
Yeah.
if there'll be a country to fly over going home,
yeah.
that election.
But yeah, that's so we're really looking forward. That's in November, and then later on in November we're playing the Crown Bowling. What's it called? The
Classic Bowl.
Classic Bowl. That's what it's called in Mississauga. It's going to be a great show. That one we're doing on our own, so it'll be right in your face too. As it's a great venue.
And that
Yeah.
sounds like it's going to be a good time. And that's strictly a King's show. Like,
Kings, yes, indeed. We'll probably be doing 2 sets, I'd imagine.
I think we'll just do one. There might be an opening 2-piece
Oh,
duo, because it's kind of a long story, but
oh, okay.
the
I didn't
guy-
know that.
the guy that
That's how
got
much
us
I know.
the gig.
Oh yeah.
But if I don't know if we'll run into Ace Frehley, but I mean,
Cancun.
they were produced by Kiss. I mean, by Bob Ezrin Wright as well. So
That-
we might have some stories to share with him about that,
Yeah, but Bob, that's true.
because he said, I saw an interview with Ace, and he said that everybody got me the bad rap about doing a lot of drugs. He said Ezrin was way worse than me. Oh,
Uh-oh.
now I'm looking. I was looking at the notes for this interview, and you guys have one of the cool descriptions of yourselves that I've seen, and it's from a DJ out of Chicago named Bob Stroud, and he says that in his audience poll of the greatest 1-2 punches in music history, songs no listener or programmer would ever dare separate, you guys came number 1 on that list.
Amazing.
And that's funny that he says that, because I have the song, of course, as it is, as a single song, but I also have We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions by Queen as a single song, and I also have that one as 2 songs.
Oh yeah.
So that says a lot about your song, that people refuse to mess with it because it's perfect the way it is.
well, we'd like to think so, although there is some of those online platforms where they split them up. And I've just got another email recently that he says, why do they split it up on whatever?
I don't know which one it is.
Well,
Yeah.
you can, if you look for, it's called the original radio segue. I think that's the 2 for 1. And
But you're right. I don't know why they would split it up on on the internet like that.
Yeah,
Some
no,
some do and some don't. I don't know.
for
The
me,
two-
I don't think that, I don't think you can separate it. I think it's perfect the way it is.
Well, we do.
I love it because it has a real flow to it.
Yeah.
The first half flows right into the second half, and there's, to me, and it might be just that I'm not too bright for it being from Hamilton, but I don't see a spot where you could cut it. And
Oh,
then why would you?
Yeah, right. I think they would cut it at the synth glide.
Yeah, maybe,
where,
maybe,
again,
yeah.
nothing matters but the weekend. But
or at the beginning of that riff, this
I don't
way
know.
it goes. Whatever. But it's funny. I was with some guys yesterday, and one of them was from Hamilton. He says, "Do you guys ever play in Hamilton?" I was going, "Oh yeah." You know.
Yeah,
and so-
lucky you, eh? Did you guys, you've played the various theaters here. You played Hamilton Place and you've played Cops, have you not?
No, but we played the Golden Garter.
You played the Garter? Oh
Yeah,
my
played
dear
Duffy.
Lord.
we played
We
Duffy's.
played Duffy's.
Oh, did you guys play Oliver's?
We played the downstairs John at Mac.
Okay, that's okay. That's a cool joint. I've
Played
DJ'd down there.
The Junction, was there a place called the Junction?
Junction, yeah, right by the train station.
That's where you got
And also there was Banisters.
Bannister.
Played there,
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I'm assuming you guys played upstairs with the balcony and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
was a long time ago,
We
but
played
Man,
Gage
we've played-
Park. We played Gage Park a bunch of times on the old.
Yeah,
the old
the
band
Festival of Friends.
yeah, or the It's Your Festival with John
Oh, it's your
Baylock.
festival, right. That's the beauty of Hamilton. We have those two great festivals. It's your festival and Festival of Friends.
Hamilton's great, you know.
I love Hamilton.
It's a like I joke around about it because I live here, but in all honesty, it is a great rock and roll town.
Yeah.
And that rock and roll vibe kind of fades out into Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga, and and towards Niagara as well with Honeymoon Suite. Just like this entire area is just rich with great talent. And it must be wonderful to have that much talent here to enjoy when you're not doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's just sad to see that the venues, like, I mean, some of those places were maybe kind of rough, but it was a gig. And
Yeah.
the young bands nowadays, I mean, they had a stage and they had a sound system or whatever, and nowadays they just move a couple tables in a pub,
Yeah,
and you're supposed to set up your little duo with some little speakers, and
Yeah, in the corner.
yeah, and it's just not the same. The kids just don't support live music. The culture was so involved with music back in the day.
it was. And it
Yeah,
was 6 days a week.
That's the thing I don't
usually.
understand. Live music was so popular back in the day. I can remember I was working at, so embarrassing. I was working as an adult entertainment MC.
Oh yeah.
So in my off time, I would go and I would DJ a rock bar
Ooh.
called Gliders. And that was that place was packed every week. And Brighton Rock played there, Svengali played there, Teenage Head played there. A lot of the great bands played in this venue. And it was exactly what you said. There was a stage, and it was kind of a rough bar. I can remember, I believe it was Brighton Rock was playing, and there was a brawl in front of the stage, and the band played like nothing was going on. And those were the days. Now, the bars, you can't get people to support local music, and that to me, that's a crime. So that's one thing about this station. Up until about 6 months ago, when we went for our FM license, we did a lot of the independent music, and that's where I got Gene Champagne's new album,
Oh, yeah.
and Tommy Graisley. I play a lot of his music and things like that. And now I got to pick the format that I wanted to play, and I chose 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And my theory is, if you put something out in the 70s or 80s, and then you put something out in 2024, it counts. Which is why your album, the current album, which I want to talk about, is now getting played on our station, because as far as I'm concerned, it's still part of your catalog. And you guys are, you know, an 80s band that are continuing to go. And for me, it gives me extra music. And that's the thing for me. Now, the current album, as I mentioned a couple of times, is The Longest Story Ever Told. And it's got some great songs on it, including what the song I played at the beginning, Nowhere to Go But Gone.
Nowhere to Go But Gone, right?
And that's getting I understand is getting a lot of support on radio, and you guys, it's doing very well in the United States, which is
Yes.
going to kind of maybe destroy that whole one-hit wonder thing that we were talking about earlier. Are you guys
Well,
okay with that?
I mean, it's, we were the ones that called ourselves a one-hit wonder. Because
We called ourselves that, so that it's good to have one than none, right?
Yeah.
Better to have one.
Exactly.
people use it as a derogatory thing, and it's like, well, you can't hurt us by calling us
No,
that.
you can't do that.
Because if you know anything about the music business, having one hit is so incredibly
Yeah.
rare and tough to do that, it's an amazing
Yeah.
achievement more than anything.
Exactly. And it's one more than I have.
Yeah, exactly. And
Just
it's
saying.
a legitimate hit in Canada and the United States,
Yeah,
whereas a lot of your popular Canadian bands never accomplished that.
right.
So
Exactly.
we are
And-
very happy about that.
And that's a great song. And like I said, it's really doing well right now. But it's not the only great song on there. I Know So was a good one as well, which, like I said, I played extensively on the station when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
But you've had some other ones as well. There's a great ballad on there, When Dreams Come True. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that song, and then I want to talk about A Rose for Your Thorn.
Yeah, well, that one hasn't, Dreams hasn't really come out yet. We're still holding that one back.
As a single, yeah, as a re-release. So.
And but it's certainly a great, powerful ballad that we were lucky enough to get mixed by Terry Brown from Rush fame.
Yeah, Rush producer mixed that beautiful tune.
So that
Yeah.
was pretty great.
And the thing is that song is, but if your fans will have to have a listen to it, but you have to play it one of these evenings when it's a beautiful evening and you're with your girlfriend or whatever. It's going to be the new wedding song, the first dance. Yeah, at a wedding they have the first dance. That song we
Yeah.
told that a few times. Oh, and people are actually doing that as their first dance song instead of I don't know whatever they would usually use, because it's that kind of a tune. It's When Dreams Come True.
It's like a second chance kind of song, because there's a lot of people that maybe didn't get it quite right the first time around. And
Hands up, man. Everyone puts their hands up.
Just saying.
Yeah, same here, man.
and so this is a thing where you feel good about this second opportunity and a new beginning, as it says in the song.
Yeah. Never
Now-
thought it's all love again. Yes, right.
Now, there's another great song on the album. It's A
Rose
Rose
for
for
Your
Your
Stone.
Thorn.
Oh, it's a rose for your stone. Actually, it is. I know
Ah,
I've been thorn a few times because your rose has its thorn, or whatever.
That's Motley Crue or somebody.
No, that was
Yeah. so Leighton's
this
got to
is
get
a
a poke in
rose.
the eye for that.
Yeah, that's all right then. The rose for your stone, because
It's just about she's gone.
she's passed. She passed away, but it's like a song. I was thinking one day I was watching The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. The great soundtrack and that.
Yeah,
that
that's a great movie.
I'm thinking I haven't heard a really good cowboy, a ballad type of a cowboy song in a long time. A new one. I mean, there's El Paso, Marty Robbins, and there's few other great songs, but there hasn't been one just lately. So I started working on that sort of that kind of a style music wise. And I said, Z, let's do this like a cowboy movie type of a song, a story song. Okay, so
Then it was an evolution.
we had a song, it was about a 7.5 minute song, like telling this long, it was like a whole soundtrack for a movie, this song. So we had to edit it down to like 3 minutes. But it's really cool. It's an internet type of song because it has real trumpets and real accordion. And the trumpets were recorded in Spain. Zero hired a trumpet player on that Fiverr.
FIBERR.
It's
It's an international online community where you can get people to do services for you
yeah.
Very cool.
for
Yeah.
video or recording or
Art.
anything, art, everything.
Yeah.
It's just this amazing thing. So we just kind of looked up mariachi horns, and there was a couple, 2 or 3 different things came up. A guy in Mexico and a guy in Spain. I approached them, and the guy in Spain was into it, and so.
As the song calls for a trumpet, like mariachi type of trumpets, and we tried it. Sonny Keys tried it on a synthesizer, but it sounded too synthesizer-y. You know, a trumpet, you know, it just didn't sound right. So we got the real deal on it instead, and real accordion. Another fella in Toronto that was hired through the same thing played accordion, live accordion, and it sounds great because it's the real deal. It's real instruments. And
It's better for it for sure. And this guy transposed the parts. He wrote them out. He added another harmony to it in Spain and recorded it to like 2 or 3 tracks of it. And it was like $160.
Hey, it's worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Yeah, no kidding. And another song I want to talk about is a great song that you guys did. She Don't Fool Around.
You don't fool around.
Tell us about that one.
Well, that's a real rock and rolly one, all right. It's we open up the live show with that now, because that's what we open. We come walking out and we hit wham right off the bat. Why not? And
it's a throwback to
we had that song a while back, but we reworked it.
And it's kind of like a Buddy Holly kind of thing, only amped up a bit, but it's
that kind of a
Tommy Rowe, what was that?
Tommy Rowe, the Shondells.
Sheila.
Dizzy?
She's my little Sheila, blue eyes and a ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
Now the little girl is fine. Me and Sheila. It's that kind of
Yeah, it's like I said, I love the album, and it's a great song, and I love playing this stuff because I have what I call Sammy Plays What He Wants.
Good.
On my morning show periodically, where I mostly play the playlist, but then I find songs that I like, that I think the audience will like, that they haven't had a chance to hear, and it gives me an opportunity to showcase them. And
I think that's a great idea too.
That one is actually one that I'm looking forward to playing in the next Sammy Plays What He Wants.
Oh, great.
We've made 5 videos from this album out of the 10 songs. We made Always Off the Deep End, Nowhere to Go But Gone, I Know So, Circle of Friends, and Rose for Your Stone. We made videos for all those. And Sheila, or we call it Sheila, but it's called She Don't Fool Around, and that might be coming up. It's too good not to, right?
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Now,
It's real energetic.
I understand that a lot of these songs that are on this album were songs that were kind of started and then just kind of maybe writer's block, or you moved on to other things for the moment, and then now you've come back to them. Do they still feel fresh in your mind when you went back to them?
Well, you find that you go back to what was wrong with them.
Yeah, you go back, you hear the good parts, and then you can really hear where it goes sour, and that's why they got put on the shelf and stored away for another day. And I think it was during the early COVID times is when we started putting the majority of this album together, because we didn't have anything to do,
Yeah.
That's why some of the older songs, they got like songs that we played them, but they weren't up to snuff, so we put them away and brought them out then now. And we had our time in between while the COVID thing was on, while we were putting this album together.
But you can put fresh ears on them because
Yeah.
when you're doing it originally, you're just stale with it and it's frustrating and you go, where, I don't know, whatever. But
Because part of it is really good, and then it just has a flat tire type of thing, and you don't know why. But now years later, come back, and we're going, oh, we've learned a lot more since, you know.
And that was something that Bob Ezrin was good at too, because when we'd play him a song, he would just say, you go along playing it, but when it got to, something not good, he would just say, stop. That's where it falls off the rails.
That's it.
Sorry to tell you, but
Yeah.
it's good up until there, so go fix it from there out.
Yeah.
And it's hard
Yeah.
to be that critical of yourself, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
the tough thing to realize that it ain't working.
Right.
So,
But he was really good. He mixed the first song on the second, A Circle of Friends, Man That I Am. We approached him, and he has one of the songs. We have 7 producers on it, or mixers on this album. 7 different people mixed 10 songs. So it was quite a collection.
And the rule was to Bob mixed the first 2, the circle of, this is another segue, but
It's the same
but
way.
that's the template that we showed everybody because he did such a great job on it. It was like, you got to make it sound as good as this.
Because we had this, there was Harry Hess is one of the guys that we used to master with us, and he's from Harum Scarum, the band Harum Scarum.
Yep.
which is
Yeah, Harry's the lead singer.
Harry, so we work with Harry quite a bit. Then there's
Garth Richardson mixed Nowhere to Go But Gone. Of course, he's Jack Richardson's son, and he produced Rage Against the Machine and a whole bunch of other bands.
Yeah. Mike Bloom, he worked with, he did a couple of songs, and he worked with Madonna and Prince. I mean, he wasn't the main mixer, but he was on the crew that produced many huge giant hits.
So they're all quality people that have great resumes and reputations. And we even talked to Eddie Kramer about mixing a song. Jimi Hendrix is a producer, and Led Zeppelin and everybody else. He lives in Prince Edward County down
Under Picton
Yeah.
or Belleville area. Yeah.
So we got him on the phone, and we sent him a song. He didn't like that one. We sent him another one. He liked that one.
He liked Rose. He liked the Rose song, but he wanted to do a little more. It was going to be a little too expensive. We were on a pretty tight budget to put this together. Again, we're an indie band, so
Yeah.
this is all on our own dime, basically, putting this together.
So it was just out of reach. I mean, Bob was more than anybody, but he's worth it.
He's worth it. Yeah.
and the last song I want to talk about is the song that I'm going to play to end the interview as well. So we will close off with this.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about Always Off the Deep End.
Well, that's the idea for that one came from this guy that I know who never did anything halfway, and
So like a Hamilton guy, you just
Yeah.
go for it.
and it just seemed to be, let me tell you what about a guy thinking, but a flame that burns hotter than and wants more out of life than any man, and it's just this friend of mine named Mike, and it's kind of a tribute to him. He's still alive and everything. He's doing well, but I went to high school with this guy, and I always remember this thing that some people had started a fight. There's 2 guys fighting in the schoolyard at high school, and there was a ring of people around them. These 2 idiots were duking it out with each other, and Mike went like this through the crowd, went in, and just broke these 2 people up. And I was going, holy shit, who does that?
Yeah.
He had balls, and so that's kind of a tribute to him. I think he's been a good friend of mine for a long time.
And it's a great sort of summary. I mean, not the fighting part really, but the song is a great tribute to beautiful gals and sort of frumpy guys. The video, if you play the video for anybody, it's a great summer song, and there's lots of good looking chicks in it,
yeah, it's kind of the video is kind of these good-looking women and then these ugly guys that dream about having a chance with these people. And then
Been there.
Yeah,
there. Many times.
We've all been there. And
But it's just part of it. It's just it's a fun. It's more for it's a more tongue in cheek, having fun type of thing. Always off the deep end. These guys they can do it. You know.
But in the video, that's what brought in our little characters that he's got on his shirt.
Yeah, these surfer guys.
Oh, that's right. I saw I saw in the press kit, I saw the picture.
It's great, eh?
So
That is a great one. Now, is that shirt going to be, it's available on your website?
Well, we're just working on that right now. We're trying to get the right process done. So
So this is one of those sort of plasticky thing. We're trying to get a better version of it. Since you can hear it,
Yeah.
it's one of those like a press-on thing. Out of the other, it's supposed to be. We want a silk screen, a really good quality silk screen one.
What we use for our baseball uniforms and hockey jerseys is sublimated dye. It's inexpensive and it's put right into the shirt. So it doesn't fade or anything.
Oh yeah, sublimated.
you get
Sublimated dye.
many colors of that though?
Yes.
Who does it for you?
Well, we have, it depends on what season it is and who my coach is. But we've done it for all my softball teams I've ever played on. And I've still got jerseys today that are wonderful. And the beauty is with sublimated dye, you can do fades and that sort of thing. Like you can fade from a bright red and have it fade up into a light pink, into a lighter pink, into a white.
Oh, yeah.
And you know,
That'd be good for this kind of thing.
and for that sort of thing, they can do that. They could do that as well. They could do intricate little, say flowers or whatever you want on your shirts or hats or whatever. Sublimated dye is the way to go.
Okay, well, we'll just check that out.
But getting back to the song, first off, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to talk with me.
Happy to do it.
I am so honored to talk to you guys. I love, like I said, I love Switching the Glide, and I love this new album. I love playing it. I love listening to it, and I love playing it for the listeners. And the listeners are taking to the songs that I've played so far.
Hey.
And I want to thank you guys for doing what you do. I hope you guys have a good time down in Cancun in November. Please do. And in the meantime, could you do me a favor? Could you introduce the song? I've chosen Always Off the Deep End as the song. We have been talking with Dave Diamond and Mr. Zero from the Kings. I want to thank you guys for taking time for me today. And just before I let you guys go, we're going to talk about the website where you can go and visit them. Guys, where can they catch you on online, all the different social areas?
Well, most of our first album was called The Kings Are Here. So we're using that as our main kind of handle with social media. Our website is thekingsarehere.com. Our Facebook page is The Kings Are Here. Our YouTube channel is The Kings Are Here.
Pretty easy to find. Or just Google Switching the Glide and you'll get the, you just do Google Switching the Glide and you'll get whatever you want.
It all comes up real good.
And with that, I want to thank you guys, and we will catch you next time on A Chat With. Take care, be good, love you all, bye-bye.
You're welcome, Sam. So when do you want us to do it? Right now? You ready?
All ready.
Hey, this is David Diamond.
And Zero from the Kings. And you're listening to Sam McBeath.
And he's always off the deep end. That's for sure.
That's right. And so here we are, the Kings with Always Off the Deep End.
Let me tell you what about a guy I think you know? What about a flame that burns hotter than what's more out of life than any man? Always off the deep end, always in way overhead, always off the deep end, always thought you were my friend. I depend on you to you what? What about a guy